Okay, everyone. So this is my Slayer guide number 2, or follow-up to the previous Slayer guide that I posted about a year ago. Again, this is just a basic guide. In no way am I saying that this is the way that you're supposed to play your Slayer, or the only way to play your Slayer, or that I'm providing any type of insight that is special. I'm just going to go over my Slayer build first, and then we'll go in more in depth in regards to that. So, I get a lot of questions about what gear I'm wearing. As of right now, I am full Invader. Okay, so I'm full Invader, all 7 pieces, and then I'm wearing 2-piece Genesis, so the 2-piece Genesis, and then I have 3-piece Beast Lord, which is the ring, the cloak, and then hunting guide. My weapons as of right now is the scenario weapon, the new one, and then I have a Doomsday, which is essentially a subjugator for the second one. So that's what I'm currently rocking right now. So that is my overall armor build. Now, in the form of talismans that I currently use, I'm pretty heavy in weapon skill talismans. So I either have 23s or 24s on every slot. So the head is 23 talisman, shoulders 23 strength, beast lord's 23 strength, 23 strength in the invader chest, 23 strength in the invader arms as well. Nothing in there. 23 strength in the boots. And then that is really about it. And then 23 weapon skill in the hammer, and then 23 weapon skill in this hammer as well. So that is my current build for gear. Now for renown abilities, I am weapon skill 5. So I have all the way into Blade Master, weapon skill 5. Okay. So that gives me a total increase of 120 in weapon skill. And I'll go into the reason why I do that. I have Def Defender 2. I have Futile Strikes 3. Okay. Then I'm running Reflexes 3 as well. So that is my renown points spent. Okay. Then I also have 1 vigor, but that's most of it. I might have 1 vigor and 1 or 2 things thrown here and there. Okay. So that is that right there. So now, one thing that I said in my first Slayer video that I'm going to kind of retract from is that I do run a 2-tactic build. So the first tactic that I run, or first tactic build that I run, is a more of a defensive, how I would normally run solo. Okay. Oh, let me show this as well before I get into that. So I get this question a lot as to what are my stats. So I'm wearing, or I have no pots on right now. So this is no pots. My strength is 982. Toughness is 1 or 2 because of renown rank. Otherwise, or renown point that I put into toughness of 4. Otherwise, it's at 98. Weapon skills at 667, so just shy of 700. Wounds is 727. Okay, my parry shows to be at 42.4%. Dodge is at 17.5. Disrupt is 13.7. My resists are all in the low to mid 4s. My hit is 2.2. Critical chance is 11. Armor penetration is 47.6. That's based off of my weapon skill. Kind of. Damage bonus. And then, yeah, that's really about it right there. So, okay, let me go into tactics. So in my tactics, I run a 2-tactic build like I was going to say. First tactic build is Brute Force, Wild Gambit, Stoutness of Stone, and a Riposte. That is my I would say 85, 90% of the time when I'm using when I am running solo, it's more of a defensive. The downside to it is that any type of hybrid healer, zealot, chamois, healing doc, I cannot kill. Okay, this build just will not let me kill them. I don't do enough damage. Riposte does nothing really for it, so I do 0 damage. So I'm gonna bring this guy in here. He actually attacked me, so I'm not gonna swing at him. I'm gonna see if I can parry him. Okay, there goes a parry. So I'm out of here to okay, so that is my first tactic build, is brute force, walled gambit, sadness of stone, and riposte. Let me wait 10 seconds for this. Then I'm gonna go into abilities and what I use and my UI setup. So my secondary is wild gambit, push for more, flanking, and brute force. So I'm gonna repeat that. The second one is wild gambit, flanking, push for more, and brute force. Now the reason why I do this is for those occasions when I'm solo, or if I'm running in a 6-man or a warband with, let's say, CNTK, where I will get either a guard or heal or both or some sort of support. So I don't need to worry so much about, you know, self-surviving. Okay, I know I have support behind me. So this is a more of a DPS build, especially with push for more and flanking. You get behind your target and you're immediately doing just more damage. So that is that setup. Now I'm gonna get into, let me kill this mob real fast. Okay, so now I'm going to get into my rotation. Now my rotation really has not changed too much from the previous video that I made about a year ago. It is still, I open with Onslaught, which is frontal cone. Then I snare with slowdown. So that's what that looks like. So I could, he's snared. Okay. So that's slow down. Okay. So that is my second ability that I usually open up with. Let me just kill him. Okay. Then my anytime is still going to be pulverizing strike. And then my 5-second is Invincible Doom or ID. So that has not really changed. That is still essentially what it was in my first video. I have not really changed that. What I have changed though is that I said in that first video that you should always pop Rampage. My opinion of that has now changed. I do not recommend that you always pop Rampage. In my opinion, that was bad advice. The thing about Rampage is that people like to say how it is, you know, this tank killer, this DPS killer, this, you know, just pure killer ability. How I play, which again, I don't play in warbands generally. I don't do 6-mans generally. I generally solo. So for me, Rampage only helps me with around half of the people that I see. It only helps against melees. It does nothing really against ranged squig herders, sorks, zealots, heal docs, maguses, anything along those lines. It does not really help against, because what it does, it allows you to bypass parry and blocking. Okay, that's the purpose of it, to bypass parry and blocking. Now, it's either going to be, depending on when you use it, here, I'm going to build up my rage here real fast. So I'm gonna get this mob. Okay. So now when I'm in yellow, I could pop Rampage. I'll pop Rampage now. And it's good for 20 seconds, as you can see right here. So when you pop it in yellow, it's for max duration. Okay? So that's max duration. However, in my build, as you know, because my tactics, when I pop anything that does with rage, it resets. I lose my rage. So I have to rebuild rage, which I'll get into in a minute of what rage does. Now, if I was to wait on Rampage, I'm going to let this mob beat on me. I'm just trying to get into full rage here. And you'll see it turn red. Okay, full rage. See, now it's reduced down to 10 seconds now. See, I lost half of my Rampage bonus. Okay. Timer on Rampage is 30 seconds. Okay, so depending on when you pop it, if you pop it in yellow, you're going to have a 10-second downtime. If you pop it in red, you're going to have a 20-second downtime, depending on when you pop it. Now, when I said in the first video that you should always pop rage, wrong. And I shouldn't have said that. The reason why is because against soft targets, okay, chamois, sorks, maguses, things like that, they don't parry, or they don't parry very often. They don't really have any type of block mechanic. So how rage works is when it's in, I'm going to wait for it to reset. So I'm going to reset my rage. Okay. When it's in green, like it is now, it's in green, I get no bonus and I get no penalties. So there's no bonus, no penalties. If it's in yellow, you get a 25% damage bonus and you get no penalty. Okay. So, and then if it's in red, I get a 50% damage bonus. But my armor is reduced by 50%, which my armor right now is just shy of 2,500. And my resists are reduced by 50%. So instead of having resists in the 400s, they would now be in the 200s. Okay. So being in red or full berserk or full rage, whatever you want to call it, allows me to do the most damage, but I take in the most damage as well. So in my first video, I talked about how you should always pop Rampage. That's wrong. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull. Okay, I guess I'll pull both these mobs. Not a big deal. Okay. Okay, I'll pull this mob too. Okay. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into full rage. Okay. I'm in full rage now. So, if this mob right here, I would be doing max damage on at this point. So, what I would do is I'd open up on him, onslaught, slow her down, okay, pulverizing strike, ID. That's what I would do. And that would be full damage with full rage. So on a soft target, again, Sork, Magus, Chamois, Zealot, Heal Doc, not melee Doc, but Heal Doc. If I'm able to initiate the fight, I will switch my tactics to this one. And then I will not blow rage. I will let rage build up to the maximum potential. So that way I do most damage on those soft targets, if I'm able to initiate the fight. Now, if they happen to see me first and initiate it, then whatever I have on is what I have on. And I either make do or I die, one of the two. It's two options. Okay. Now, against a melee target, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this guy over here. Again, I open up with a onslaught. I'll slow down. A pulverizing strike. and then an ID. Okay, he died. Then I would pop Rampage, as you can tell by the glowing yellow weapons, and that would allow me to bypass any type of blocking or parrying that character has. So Chosen's, Black Orcs, Witch Elves, very effective against Witch Elves. Chappas, things along those lines, is where you would use that. Okay, now keep in mind again though, is that when you do it, so again, I'm going to pull this mob. Okay, look at my rage meter. I'm going to pop Rampage now. I lost all rage. So my damage bonus of 25% that I had is now gone. So I'd have to rebuild that over again, which is only a few seconds. But again, that's still a few seconds of where I'm not doing as much damage as I was before. So keep that in mind. So that is the basic ability list that I do. Now, to get more in depth, the other ones that I also incorporate is going to be Rune of Absorption, which is, again, my melee heal. Okay, so, again, I'm going to pull this mob right here. Apply a slowdown. He's dying too fast. Here, let me pull this mob right here. Okay. I'm going to let him beat on me for a little bit. Now, I'm full berserk, full rage, so I'm taking more damage than I typically would, because my armor is reduced by half, as you can tell right here. 1248. Okay? So, what I would do is, in this circumstance, pop it like that, and I'm able to heal up. Okay? Now, unfortunately, my riposte returned some of the damage to him, so I was not able to heal up fully because my parry damaged him as well. So that is that ability. The other one is Spine Crusher, which is used when you're either behind a target like this, or on the side of a target. Okay, I guess it's only behind. I thought it was side as well, so it's only behind. So if you're behind a target like this, then you can do Spine Crusher, which is a rear ability. So classes that are running away from you, okay, you would go ahead and, engage them, slow them down, and then as they run away, like, your ranged squig herders, your chamois, definitely your chamois, healers, you can be applying Spine Crusher. Now, the thing about Spine Crusher, though, what I try to do, and I can't really show it here, is I don't just spam Spine Crusher. I don't just sit there and just, Spine Crusher, Spine Crusher, Spine Crusher as they run away from me. I don't find that's very effective. So what I try to do, and I wish there was another mob I could get. Damn, their thing is large. Here, I'm gonna wait for him to come back, so I could kind of show. Oh, this one will work. Okay, so what I would do is, let's pretend that this is a chamois who's running away from me. I would apply 1 or 2 Spine Crushers, just 1 or 2. One, and then I would apply an ID, and then I would continue to attack. Either slow down, throw another onslaught, and then kind of do that. So I don't just spam Spine Crusher. I apply a couple Spine Crushers. I wait for the ID to go away, then I reapply ID, and I keep trying to snare the individual as much as I can. Okay? Another thing I also do is you also have your roars down here. Okay? These are either a bonus to you, to your group, or kind of a it's not really a debuff, but it helps you out. So I go ahead and you can apply this one, which allows you to do, this is even the odds, so this allows you to increase your toughness by all the enemies that are around you. So if you're fighting in a 6-man on a warband and you're jumping in the back lines, pop that and your toughness will go up 38 by everybody who you're around. So 38, 38, 38, 38, you know, whoever the case may be. So that could be a good benefit to you. Okay. One-on-one, I still use it because it helps me out a little bit, but it's not like a huge thing. Okay. The other one, which is more of a group thing, is your Gudrun's War Cry. So what this does is, let's say if you're in a warband, something like that, you pop that and it reduces your friend's AP usage by 25%. So that is a good one as well. Something else I also use, although this is based upon the enemy, again, so this does not really pertain to ranged DPS. This only pertains to melee DPS. And I don't know if I'll be able to get this guy to do it. Okay, they're both going to come. Is Numbing Strike. Okay. So Numbing Strike only works when my target parries me. Okay. So they have to block or parry me. Not me block them, but they have to block or parry me. And what it does is it allows me, if I can activate Numbing Strike, it allows me to basically bypass their block or parry for the next 10 seconds by 50%. So that's kind of a good in-between of when Rampage is not available against melee DPS. Okay, or if I don't have the range, the rage for it or whatever, I can pop Numbing Strike and try to essentially kind of debuff their parry and blocking for 10 seconds. So that is that process. And that is really about it in the sense of how I play my Slayer. Again, I play it solo for the majority of the time. That's my tactic build. That is my character build. That's my armor build. That's my tally build that I went over. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to go ahead and link it in the comments below. And I will be more than happy to go ahead and answer those as they come across. Anything else, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you.